Amen. Well, yes. Good afternoon, friends. I want to thank Pastor May, Radcliffe Leonard, the Pattersons, Andra Parker, and all of the distinguished members of the MLK Foundation for the invitation and opportunity to be here today. I'm here on the ancestral land of the Dena'ina as a servant standing on the shoulders of those who came before me, informed by the strength of our elders and ancestors, and with the clarity of our calling during these times of shifting priorities.
All right.
Yes, priorities can shift. But our calling is the foundation, and that foundation remains the same, timeless and necessary. Yes, creating that beloved community. And on the way to creating that beloved community, we've come across times when we've had to shift priorities, because priorities are temporal. They're connected by the immediate challenges that we face and the opportunities we have at our disposal at any one point in time. Paraphrasing Dr. King's Birth of a Nation sermon in Montgomery, Alabama in 1957, he said, "The road to freedom is a difficult road, a hard road. And those people who will tell you today that there is more tension in America than has been before are telling you right. Because whenever you get out of Egypt, you're always going to confront a little tension.
All right.
If you didn't confront that tension, you'd never get out. And that period of tension is the period when we decided to rise up and break loose from complacency. The road to freedom is difficult, but the forces of the universe are on the side of justice. This means that with every new push forward, we should expect some resistance. But we already know we're in it for the long haul.
All right.
So according to Dr. King, what were those early priorities in the movement? Well, they were the removal of those legal barriers that forced dehumanizing humiliation. Dr. King called that the struggle for decency. He said the next phase of the struggle is characterized by the struggle for genuine equality on the road to building that beloved community. But in 1967, in a reflection, Dr. King also said he thought it was easier to integrate the bus and the lunch counter than it was to get genuine equality. He further went on to say that that change will only happen over time, like an installment plan for equality. With the reminder that if we don't feel any resistance, any tension, we aren't moving forward. So yes, we've come a long way, but we ain't there yet. Now, what season is it today? Well, here we are again. Amid high tensions, toxic partisanship, and inflamed culture wars. It's no coincidence that all of that is happening now during the next phase of the installment that is rooted in the emerging call for equity and justice. Well, how do we reprioritize? Well, let's go to the blueprint. And for that, Dr. King gave a blueprint in 1957 in a junior high school in Philadelphia, actually 67, and he encouraged the young people to remember this, that we can transform dark yesterdays of injustice into bright tomorrows of justice and humanity with these principles. 1, the principle of somebodyness. And how we do that today is that we follow that principle by telling our stories, honoring the legacy of greatness, and seeing ourselves represented across the various sectors in office, elected, and appointment, and as leaders of every industry and beyond. We can't tear ourselves down because we were called to increase, not divide, grow, not to diminish. Principle 2, well, he said, be ready to enter the doors as they open. What does this mean? Our priority today is continuing to focus on pipelines of excellence, youth capacity building, education and job training, but also like lifelong learning, for upskilling, for our adults to have opportunities to get back into the workforce if they've been displaced, and for our entrepreneurial spirit to rise up and seize emerging opportunities. The third commitment, a commitment to beauty, love, and justice. He called for us to move past the politics of expediency, past the transactional, to take care of one another. Consider our work in public health, because building the beloved community is about making sure our community is whole. And he said unto them, arise, go thy way, thy faith has made thee whole. So, wholeness is a state of being healed and well. Well, Dr. King also knew that faith without works is. He said that if a brother, or he knew that if a brother or a sister was naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you said to them, depart in peace, be warmed and filled, but you did not give them the things that they need for their body, what did it profit? Thus, he called that faith by itself, is, if it does not have works, is dead. That's why, lastly, Dr. King reminds us for the need of political action. Said there is a moral obligation to be involved in the struggle for freedom and justice. Sideline passerbyers is not happening. He called for a methodology and said it can be militant, meaning persistent and disciplined, but it must be nonviolent. It must not destroy. He reminded us it must not be burned, baby, burn. It must be build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. Learn, baby, learn, so we can earn, baby, earn. So today I say let's continue to mobilize our resources on that note and back those that are advancing our interests. We are turning up the vote, we are bringing democracy to the park, and we make sure that all the souls go to the polls.
That's right.
So, if life's most persistent and urgent question was and is, what are you doing for others? Let's turn it on its head and ask, what are you doing to make our community whole?
Yes.
And what are we willing to let go of to move forward together? I remind us that we're shifting the focus on measuring effective no longer simply by the performance of change and the celebration of diversity. No, we're measuring substantive change now. We're looking for impactful policy outcomes, truth, reconciliation, equity, political representation, and economic prosperity. Keep moving forward to be sure we have all a wide range of political beliefs and experiences in our community. But we're all connected past those differences by an unflappable belief that we shall overcome. Keep moving forward. In other words, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl.